Hello and welcome to the second edition of Fridays at the Redline. I'm EricTheCarGuy, your host. Well, let's start off with the contest. As of right now, the contest is now officially closed to entries. So, if you haven't entered the EricTheCarGuy swag giveaway contest, well, you're too late. But for those of you that have entered, best of luck to you. I liked all of your videos. Thank you for submitting them. For the rest of you, go to the last Friday at the Redline's video and check out the video responses there and hit the like button for them. Show some love. I mean, they did make the effort and I appreciated it very much. Winners will be announced 1 week from today on April 1st, 2011, and they will get their cool stuff. And that will be a hat, a t-shirt, and the Eric the Car Guy video library as it stands right now. Next up, let's talk about the podcast. This week, we're going to have my brother from another mother, Mark Hicks, from Wells Manufacturing on the program, and it promises to be an action-packed half hour. Why do you say? Because Mark does something very similar to what I do, but he does it on the phone for Wells every day. As you might imagine, I get a lot of emails asking questions about cars and trucks and different problems that people are having. Well, Mark Hicks does this every day. He also produces the videos for Wells Manufacturing, which honestly, that's how I found him. I was clicking through one day and watched one of the videos and I was impressed. I felt that I learned something. Sunday, March 27th, 2011 at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time is when that program will be, and we'll be getting a chance to talk with Mark Hicks. That will be me and Rich Baxter from carandtrucktalk.com. You know you want to be there. And if you're not there, you can find it on iTunes. Last time, I had forgot to mention that Eric the Car Guy has expanded. I'm not just on YouTube anymore. I'm on other places as well. In fact, I'm on iTunes. And the videos that are up on iTunes are full versions of the videos that I had to break up into pieces while I was here on YouTube before I became a partner. So those part 1, part 2, part 3s are all one continuous video if you go to iTunes. So just go to iTunes and type in a search for Eric the Car Guy, all one word, and that's what you will find. In addition to that, you will also find on iTunes the previous podcast. So you can give a listen to past podcast from me and Rich Baxter from carandtrucktalk.com. And in addition to that, I am also on Blip TV, something with Samsung. There was a bunch of distribution that came with all of that. So, be sure to check that out. So Eric the Car Guy is in more than one place. Not just for YouTube anymore. You guys here at YouTube get all the cool stuff because the videos that are up on iTunes are really just what I refer to as the core videos, and there's about 100 of them there. In related automotive news, one of the things that I've been concerned about, and I wish I'd done more research about, was the supply chains for parts coming out of Japan. Unless you've been living under a rock, you know that Japan was hit by an earthquake and tsunami a little over a week ago. Actually, 2 weeks ago today, if I'm not mistaken. And as a result, many of their businesses and things have been closed down, and they still have a pending nuclear crisis to deal with. I myself have donated to the Red Cross on their behalf, and I would urge you to do the same if you're so inclined to do so. Even a couple of bucks makes a difference. Aside from all that, how this might affect us in the automotive industry is we may be paying a lot more for auto parts if we can get them, the parts particularly that come from Japan. I'll look into it a little more as time goes on, but that's one of the things I'm thinking about as far as the news of the day. So, to recap, Eric the Car Guy is on iTunes and other cool places. Mark Hicks is going to be on the podcast this week at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. And I forgot to mention that also Rich Baxter had put together a little compilation show for the absence of last week's show, so you can go to iTunes and find that there under Car and Truck Talk, or you can go for a search for Eric the Car Guy podcast, and I believe you'll come up with it either way. But other than that, that about wraps it up. We're going to be finally, hopefully, getting away from this Chevy Tahoe discussion. But if I'm honest, I really do enjoy the discussion that we're having about that engine. That's what it's all about, because like I've said before, I don't know everything, but I try to work with the evidence. So if you're still making comments on that, work off the evidence and not just off of pure speculation. Take a look at all the videos, including the leak down video, and see if you can come up with a more reasonable explanation. So far, my favorite one is maybe microscopic cracks either in the cylinder wall or in the piston itself. Rings lining up may or may not be at the top of my list so much anymore as far as that ring gap is concerned. It seemed large to me, but I've been told that that's pretty much in spec. And also there was other speculation about piston rings lining up, and that's something that normally happens. Also, on the high performance application, ring gaps are even larger. Given that, there's other issues going on there, but I still stick by my theory that something is going on with the compression loss in the bottom end of the engine based on the discoloration of the cylinder wall. Without the proper measuring tools to get in there and actually mic everything out, to be honest, the jury is still out. So really, there's a whole lot of theory based on evidence, but I will admit that I don't have solid proof of what was happening. Aside from all that, I'm Eric the Car Guy. You can always visit me at EricTheCarGuy.com or follow me on Facebook and Twitter, and of course, the podcast this Sunday, March 27th, 2011 at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time, where Rich Baxter from CarAndTruckTalk.com and myself will be interviewing Mark Hicks from Wells Manufacturing. You really would like to be there. So we'll close out this edition of Fridays at the Redline with be safe, have fun, and of course, stay dirty. Now let's get to fixing some cars. See ya.